Black God perspective. Hello and good afternoon. This is a very quick news brief. I know that we have a live coming up here within the next half hour, but I felt it necessary to bring this to us here as well. When I say as well, because we've already done it over on Headlines with a Voice. However, let's just get right into it. King Charles III, 75, is diagnosed with cancer just days after being discharged from the hospital after undergoing treatment for an enlarged prostate. The 75-year-old monarch has returned to London from Sandringham to begin treatment immediately. It is not connected with this recent surgery and is not prostate cancer, but medics spotted it when he underwent his medical procedure for an enlarged prostate. Buckingham Palace said in a statement tonight, this because it's overseas, this particular article is coming from overseas. Buckingham Palace said in a statement tonight during the King's recent hospital procedure for benign prostate enlargement, a separate issue of concern was noted subsequent diagnostic tests. Subsequent to his diagnostic test, have identified a form of cancer. His Majesty has today commenced a schedule of regular treatments, during which time he has been advised by doctors to postpone his public-facing duties. Throughout this period, His Majesty will continue to undertake state business and official paperwork as usual. The King is grateful to his medical team for their swift intervention, which was made possible thanks to his recent hospital procedure. He remains wholly positive about his treatment and looks forward to returning to full public duty as soon as possible. His Majesty has chosen to share his diagnosis to prevent speculation and in the hope that it may assist public understanding for all those around the world who are affected by cancer. The diagnosis is also likely to be professionally devastating for King Charles, who was the longest serving heir to the throne in British history before he became king on the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth, on September 8th, 2022. Since then, he has hit the ground running with the 3 state visits overseas, hosting 2 incoming state visits to the UK and undertaking hundreds of public engagements, taking on punishing official workload well into his 70s. Aides have said that he relished the challenge and is highly enjoying his royal role. The King's diagnosis will pose serious questions for the working of the monarchy, with fewer working members of the royal family and the Princess of Wales out of action due to what has only been described as abdominal surgery until after Easter. The Prince of Wales, who is the heir to the throne, had cleared his diary to be by his wife's side and keep life as normal as possible for their 3 grandchildren, or excuse me, their 3 children. Kensington Palace announced earlier today, however, that he would resume public duties this week by conducting an investor on Wednesday at Windsor Castle, followed by a gala fundraiser event for the London Air Ambulance in the evening. While Queen Elizabeth suffered episodes or periods of being ill over the years and underwent surgery on a number of occasions, including on her knee and cataracts, there was no major health crisis of this magnitude until the very last months of her historic 70-year reign. That, however, would have a serious knock-on effect on the family's life of the Prince and Princess of Wales. They moved to Windsor 18 months ago in order to allow their children to enjoy a more carefree childhood outside of the royal bubble until absolutely necessary. Prince George X, who is the second in line to the throne, Prince Charlotte VIII, and 5-year-old Prince Louis all attend a local school there in Lombrook, and they have settled in well into their new home, Adelaide College. Adelaide Cottage. William and Kate's team are still based in Kensington Palace in London, their official residence, and travel up to Windsor for meetings. Questions will inevitably be asked about how practicable, y'all, please help me. It will be how practicable. I don't know how that's apparently some type of English. It will be for them to do so from now on. The king has largely enjoyed a very good health throughout his life, apart from suffering from a crippling bad back. The first sign that anything was amiss with his health came on January 17th when Buckingham Palace made a surprise announcement about the king that he had sought treatment for an enlarged prostate. The palace added that His Majesty's condition was benign and that he would attend the hospital the following week for a corrective procedure. They said he was personally keen to share details of his diagnosis to encourage other men who may be experiencing symptoms to get themselves checked. The NHS subsequently reported an encouraging spike in people seeking more information on their website. Now, His Majesty, who was in Scotland at the time, traveled back to Sandringham afterwards and then on to London the night before the surgery. There are the King and Queen there. He was admitted to the London Clinic in Melbourne, central London, on January 26 with his wife, Queen Camilla, by his side. Buckingham Palace said that he wanted to thank everyone for the good wishes and was delighted to learn that his diagnosis was having a positive impact on the public health awareness. He was finally released on Monday last week after 3 nights in the hospital and said that he was doing well. He initially resided at Clarence House, his London residence, in order to be close to his doctors before returning to Sandringham with his wife. Now, Queen Camilla has continued to undertake public engagements, telling members of the public that her husband was doing fine and looking forwards to him getting back to work. Last Tuesday, she told well-wishers that he was getting on and doing his best, adding, "Thank goodness." 1 in every 3 men, this is the article, 1 in every 3 men over the age of 50 will have symptoms of an enlarged prostate, which will include needing to visit the toilet more frequently, with more urgency, and difficulty emptying their bladder. An enlarged prostate, known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, does not usually pose a serious threat to health, and it is not cancerous. But patients may need to have several tests for the condition to rule out the possibility they have another illness with similar symptoms, such as prostate cancer. Surgery is usually only recommended for moderate to severe symptoms that have not responded to medicine. So for those of you who are just coming in or just pulling up to this, it's important to note that he has been hospitalized with a cancer diagnosis. But according to the article, it says it is not connected with his recent surgery. And they also add it is not prostate cancer. I know a lot of times people will get rumors or get information, but they won't listen to the whole thing. And then they run with he has prostate cancer. So it's important for us, even at the end of the article that we're reading right now, to make sure that I stress it's not prostate cancer. It is another cancer that they found while they were giving him the treatment that he needed for the enlarged prostate. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful day. That's the end of our broadcast. Take care. Black Perspective.